Merry Saturday, everybody. Yeah. How's everybody's weekend been for you other American folk? How was your fireworks boom boom day? Literally, I think I just stayed inside and played Elden Ring all day pretty much. I'm pretty confident that's the only thing I did, other than I worked on a couple of videos that morning to get them out on time. But other than that, I just legitimately played Elden Ring all day. What's up, D. Cole? How's it be? Let me make sure I've got this going on here. There we go. Waiting for the cinematic event of Omni-Media's first July year of 24 live event ever. Woo yeah. What's up, Darren? Emma, how you doing? Ledger? Geek Ledger? I was like combining your entire name together into like one word. I was gonna say Gledger. What's up, Big Papa? Satoshi, how you doing? Bella, how are you? The dog is in. I gotta say it like that. The dog. Can I pet that dog? Nice hair. Well, thank you. Still drying, technically, so leaving it out. So glad I could finally make a stream. Well, welcome. Oh, my goodness. What's up, Arrow? People to chat, welcome. Thoughts on Variety reporting that the HBO Arkham series has been canceled. See, I posted about this on Twitter. I was under the impression this has been canceled for over a year. I don't remember this ever moving forward at all. So when they're reporting on this, I was like, well, I thought everybody already knew this. Like, I'm a little confused. Personally. So, yeah, everybody seems to be surprised by it, but I thought it had long since been dead. You look great with that hair and the Superboy shirt. Well, thank you. Gotta have my soup shirt on for later tonight. For, what episode are we on? I gotta double check. I'm pretty sure episode 8 is tonight. Episode 8. So we still got 3 episodes of this season of My Adventures with Superman to go. Have you beat the final boss of the DLC yet? No. I've been pretty much clearing every area so far one bit at a time. I'm in the Shadow Keep at the moment. I don't exactly know how far into everything I am by that comparison. So yeah, I believe if I know where I'm at correctly, it's I'm about to head into the Mesmer fight, I think. It's been a week since my mom died. I am so sorry to hear that, Dark Car. If you need a break, if you need anything, like, do what you need to do. That I can't even fathom that myself right now, man. My heart goes out to you. Hopefully we can give you a little bit of distraction in the wake of that, but that's a heavy burden to carry right now. What's up, horse lover? How are you doing? Happy Saturday. It's weird moving on from that like that. Like I don't know what else to do. Sorry if I'm not staying for long, because I'm in the middle of watching 3C Films' new house tour video. So you know what this means. Red lights! Yes, indeedy do. What's up, Jazzy? What's up, Classy Dan? Played RuneScape most of the 4th, to be honest, but I ate some good food. What are your thoughts on some of the Superman leaks? I'm holding final judgment till the trailer, but I like what I see so far. I know a lot of people are really zeroed in on the Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner outfits, but I feel like that is very purposeful. So, yeah, I'm gonna wait and hold off on it. But yeah, I mean, like, if those are the final suits, yeah, they don't look good. though they don't look good. All the Clark and Superman stuff looks fantastic. Though, Mr. Terrific looks right off the page. But again, I'm holding final judgments until it's actually out. What's up, Lunar Mist? How are you doing? Not doing okay. I broke up with my boyfriend. Really don't want to talk about it. Well, we're here to give you some distractions and hopefully not have to worry about it too much. But I'm sorry to hear that. That's never easy. Never ever. But hopefully we can help you have a little bit of a lighter Saturday today. What's up, Ashley? How are you? What's up, Bianca? Aunt Gar. Sorry I haven't been around for a while. My phone broke and I had to wait to get a new one. Oh, no problem at all. I'm sorry that sucks. Like, but I'm glad you got a new one. I'm glad you're back, but no worries. Like, there's no obligation at all for everybody to be here every weekend. It's not an expectation by any stretch of the imagination, man. Life happens. So, no worries on my part, man. James Gunn commented on Threads a few months back the Batverse version was canceled. Matt Reeves then pitched a new DCU Arkham series to Gunn. That one has also been canceled. Well, if it was pitched, it can't be canceled if it was never picked up. So the new one would technically not qualify as being canceled. Not moving forward, but those are two very different things. On the 4th, I played Watch Dogs all day. Haven't gone through the series, but purchased the first and second game from Steam Summer Sale. And can't wait for the Superman episode tonight. Likewise. I haven't played, I played like a few minutes of the first Watch Dogs, and I just could not get into it. What's up, Reaper? Have I seen the new trailer for Cobra Kai? No. I've made the decision I'm not going to watch it because there's really no point in watching it. Because, like I've mentioned this on previous streams, I already have the screeners for those episodes. So, I'm probably going to watch them this week anyway. So, like, I don't know. I'm already hyped. I watched the first teaser trailer that came out. They don't need to sell me anymore on this. So, if I can go into it as blind as possible, I think I'll have a much more entertaining time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to finally watching these episodes. Because now that I'm done with that 90s show, I was waiting to get over that hurdle before I started the Cobra Kai stuff. So I'll be doing that probably this week. I think it's going to take you a bit more to get to the final boss. It's awesome. So darn difficult. Love it. Yeah, I posted I know, like, my dancing lion fight only lasted like 15 seconds, I think. Like, not too bad. And then there was Rilana. That was a pretty interesting little fight. That was a cool little boss. Like, the moveset and all that. Beat them. And then there was, like, the dude riding the horse. That was a bit of goop down in the stone fissure or something. Stone coffin fissure, something like that. Beat him. Those are the only major bosses that I can remember. A lot of world bosses are out of the way. A lot of my deaths so far have just been really dumb stuff. You know, the guy on the horse was the first boss I didn't beat the first try. And it took like maybe what, 6-7 tries I think before I finally got through. But everything else has just been really dumb mistakes, just accidentally dodge rolling off a ledge or not making a jump or whatever. Like, oh my god, that was some frustrating stuff. The Boys episode was crazy. Tech Knight is the ripoff Batman. I know in the comics he's vastly, drastically different, but yes, there was a lot of Batman parallels. Thinking of rewatching one of your reaction series. Not sure which one though. Should I rewatch The Mandalorian, or is there something you would recommend? I mean, there's nothing wrong with watching the Mandalorian stuff, man. Any of my Mike Flanagan stuff, I think those are pretty rewatchable. But yeah, I don't know. Just whatever's in your mood, man. I don't know how to recommend my own stuff at the moment. Went on vacation. Nice. I wouldn't call it a vacation or anything like that, but, I'm going to GalaxyCon at the end of the month in, the weekend of the 25th. Just a little weekend trip, 3-day weekend I gave myself. I don't technically qualify that, but it works. One of the things I forgot to ask, do you know about the League of Legends? Their cinematics are very good to watch, and seeing their K-pop group KDA. Oh yeah, I played a League of Legends for a long time, to the point where I just had to stop. I got so burned out on it. It dominated my life for a period. Yeah, I'm very familiar with League of Legends, their cinematics, and the game itself. Let's see. Okay, production timeline. Originally greenlit as a Batverse GCPD show, which eventually evolved into the Batverse Arkham show that was canceled a year ago, and Reeves then pitched a DCU Arkham show. Now that DCU Arkham show has been canceled as well. Fair enough. Thank you. That's what I thought. That's like, I don't remember it ever continuing past the Batverse stuff. Yeah, I don't remember people talking about that. What's up, Alfie? Like trying to transition it out of the Batverse and into that. Because I thought the GCPD show became the Penguin show. But, fuck, I don't know. Good, mostly been chilling. Hey, that's a win in my book. What's up, Storm? Doing well? I'm doing well, how about you? Do you like James Gunn's suits of the JLI in the movie? Maybe JLA? I mean, they're not great. Like they look like, let's just say, the worst the CW's ever put out. And I like 90% of the CW suits. But I think there's a point. I think there's a purpose, and again, these are paparazzi shots, so we'll have to wait until post-production and any of the other stuff that we don't see are put into the mix. Apparently the whole Tech Knight sidekick story is much worse in the comics. Poor Huey really had to go through it. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll actually read the comics, but from a lot of people that say that, a lot of people at least tend to say that the show is better than the comics. But I did hear a lot of people say that this is one of the few times where they think the comic did a character better when it came to Tech Knight, so I don't know. One day. Did I see any fireworks yesterday? Nope, I did not leave my house. And even though like the main show is like up the river from where I live, like I can usually see some of it from if I actually go out on my deck. Like because it had just rained all day, the 4th here, with the humidity, all of our windows were just fogged up. I really like this background track. It's so positive, a smile in a song form. That is why I absolutely love You Will Be Okay. I think it's still I don't know, man. It's tough between this and 2 Minutes Notice on what my favorite Hell of a Boss song is. What's up, Lewis? How you doing? You see that West Ham United? Can't stay too long. I have an appointment, and I'm sorry. Don't apologize. Take care of yourself first. What's up, Mixie? How you doing? Hey, bro. It's been a while since I've been on one of your lives, but I've been watching your reactions. Road to 100K. We might actually make it this year, which would... It's still, like, surreal to me that the channel's even grown this much, which is... like, it's just awesome, man. One question. How old are you? I am 36. As of April. So awesome you got the screeners for Cobra Kai. I'm not jealous at all. Yeah. I mean, Netflix is the only vendor I've ever had any luck with at getting screeners. And still, it's not always. Like, I couldn't get screeners for Avatar. Sometimes they don't even straight up email me back. Or like with One Piece, they just lie and tell me they're not giving out screeners, but then they did. It just depends, because every show has their own PR team. So they all treat every show very, very differently. I didn't get that 90s show the first time around, but I did get it this time around, and it was only because the showrunner liked my reactions. So, at least, I don't know if that's the case, but I'm, like, much bigger now, like, channel-wise, than I was with the first season, but I did have the showrunner for season 1 reach out to me and thank me for the way I talked about the show. And I was like, hell yeah, man, I loved it. I think it's really solid. Like, especially if you are a fan of that 70s show. Like, it's great. But Cobra Kai has been the only one I've consistently been able to get to, which is funny, because that's a fairly big show. I love that Rolana is always dancing while beating your ass. Takes a while to realize that, but the way she uses her swords is fascinating. Yeah, it's a beautiful fight. Like, I wanted to watch more of it, but I was like, I don't want to die. So, like, I'm just watching all this shit, man. I don't know what's going on, because last month Gunn said the DCU Arkham show was still on, while Matt Reeves said he was still developing a Batverse Arkham. So I think there was some miscommunication. I don't know, man. This is another problem with them still, like, putting their cards in, or eggs in a bunch of different baskets at the moment, but whatever, we'll see. Whose neck snap in Star Wars was worth, when Vader snapped that kid's neck or Smilo Ren's? I felt Vader's was worse. Vader's was just dark. Like, both were dark, but, like, that was a kid. Like, he was just like, and done. So, I'm gonna go with Vader. If you choose one villain from Marvel and DC to fuse, what would be the scariest and who would be the coolest? Dude, if you... Imagine, like, fusing Joker and Thanos. Just somebody with the mind of... the resolve of Thanos and the sensibilities of the Joker with all of that physical power as well. And then if the Joker got the Infinity Stones, like, that would be terrifying. Led to the cancellation of the show as a whole. What's up, Ginger? How are you doing? I'm doing well. Likewise, Logan, how are you? Alright, rewatching The Mandalorian, it is then. I'll be honest, I haven't even watched your reaction for it at all. Well, you're in for a fun time, I hope. Given the first season was one of my oldest reactions, so forgive the quality of the time. I think I might have to tap out of the boys. I think Eric Kripke has gotten too big for his britches, and his comments on Huey's event really rubbed me the wrong way. I haven't seen anything he said, you know, after this last week's episode, so maybe I'll have to take a look at those comments, because he's everything he said about this season so far, about everything else, like, I've agreed with, but I don't know what he said, so I have to look into that later. Just downloading The First Descendant. Looks good. It's free. Have you seen this game or any thoughts of it if you know of it? I have not heard of it at all. So that is a big old I'm in the dark on that one. I know, but it's been 2 days, and maybe it's a joke as you take it one, but I ship Webweaver Huey and Ashley. Anyone agree if it was different circumstances? No. Not even in the slightest. What's up, Summer? Aloha from the heat wave suffering West Coast. How hot is it over there right now? I'm just curious. The way to describe that scene was hilarious when it was absolutely disgusting to me. Not necessarily from a clutching pearls perspective, but just from how poorly it was handled. I mean, I can understand that for sure. With the boys, I don't really take anything they do all that seriously. I don't know that you're really meant to. So, like, I don't know. The subject matter, In any other situation, definitely, but I don't know. I mean, it was uncomfortable, but it did make me laugh. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and lie, but you know, The Boys does a really good job at making me laugh at really uncomfortable situations. But obviously, I don't think it needs to be said, but people on the internet are apparently really dumb. And, you know, the real life situation is not funny by any stretch of the imagination. So, let's not blur those lines. Literally, as they are about to set off fireworks where I am, I started downpouring rain. Oof. Yeah, I'm not even sure when ours let up, but regardless, you know, it's West Virginia, man. Regardless of official fireworks going on, somebody's gonna be firing off something. So, like, yeah, we, like, even the night, you know, on the 3rd, the 4th, and yesterday, there was still, like, every night fireworks going off. Like, that we could hear popping off through the night. Mr. Terrific suit is the most comic accurate suit in the movie so far. Yes, it is. It's literally right off the page. What's up, Adid? How are you doing? As a matter of fact, how is everybody doing today? I'm doing good, and there's a little bit of a hit or miss on everybody else at the moment, but we're all here for everybody, regardless of what's going on, man. Question, did you check out the Hasbin Hotel AU I recommended last stream? No. If not, the author decided to rename it The Sins of the Father AU. Also, they showed what Charlie looks like, and she looks awesome. No, I haven't. I completely forgot about it, and I haven't looked into it at all. That House of the Dragon episode had my curiosity piqued, especially that woman who said to Daemon he's gonna die. That got me thinking, how many witches are in Westeros? Apparently, I was watching Hello Future Me talk about last week's episode, and you know he's read the book, so he knows about this character, but he didn't spoil anything. But he said that there's some interesting stuff that is very unclear in the books about that character. So I think she's one to keep an eye on. I think we're going to see a Green Lantern solo movie in the new DCU. I think we will see Guy Gardner die in Soup's movie, and the ring will fly off and land. Find the next GL. GL movie starts there. That would be really interesting. Considering too, Guy Gardner is, you know, who's playing him. The character himself is very, at this point, up in the ages. So I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on that squirrel, man. Because Chip, if Chip is in here, he's one of my favorite Green Lanterns. So, assuming that squirrel is Chip, but we'll see. Good afternoon, everyone. What's up, Tomas? How are you? What are your thoughts on the new DMC anime? And if it's going to follow the games and the voice actors from the new DMC games are going to voice the characters, they might cross over with Castlevania. I haven't seen anything since it was announced, so I don't know. Do we have a cast? Do we have a trailer? Do we have anything? All I know is that Powerhouse is animating it, so the Castlevania people. So, as far as I'm aware, it is set in the game universe. So I don't know. Do I watch Corridor Crew? I do. Why? Why? What? Please tell me it's not another controversy. Anyone else think James is getting way too much hate? Like, we all liked Peacemaker's Suicide Squad movie, right? I still have hope. It's the likely suspects, the usual suspects that they're getting to. Well, I do think that, and I don't think this is necessarily his fault, like, you know, them plotting out this universe so far without knowing if it's even going to be successful, but that's a corporate thing. That's not really something I can pin on him at all. He's not made anything I haven't enjoyed, so I'm hopeful regardless. Like how Starlight didn't really seem to care he had been SA'd until he literally broke down crying when she had been SA'd in the first season, so she knows how it feels. Well, they also didn't witness it. You know, there's no cameras, they didn't hear anything, and he probably hadn't even talked about it yet. So, and I don't even think it really hit him until after, because he was still playing along with the joke up until that point, until he was about to be tortured to death. So I don't even know if he processed it yet. And they wouldn't know what happened until after the fact. They just saw him down there being about to be cut open. So for that's how I saw it, because you know, that's just how the scenes played out for me. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. In my head, like, I'm just thinking, like, they don't know what happened when he went down there. They found him strapped up. Tech Knight was about to scalpel him and do all the things to him after the fact. And it looks like he's just being tortured, like, at that point. Like, but they don't know about all the other stuff that happened the entire time that he had to just kind of stomach and put up with, which is why I think we had that scene at the end when he's breaking down, because I don't think he told them about it or opened up about it, or they knew the extent of it. So, I don't know if she was connecting it to SA in that moment until after the fact, but I could be completely wrong about that. What's up, Kat? Love hearing loving your The Bear reactions. Glad you're having fun with it. Also, I heard that Joffrey from Game of Thrones has a role in the second season of The Sandman. Excited for that next season. I saw that as well. Yeah, I'm really curious who he's going to be, and just for the second season in general. Super excited for that. Did I listen to Mark G's podcast and him revealing that if Arrow failed, the CW would have been shut down? I did. I didn't listen to the podcast, but I heard that news hitting the circuit, you know, making the rounds. And I mean, that goes to show that once Arrow was gone, why they were desperately clinging to all of their superhero stuff, and that it just wasn't able to carry on all that well after the pandemic with their flagship gone. So yeah, which is, with that revelation, that news, that info right there, goes to show how powerful the Arrowverse was as a whole, and we all know that, the people that actually watched it, but also just how weak the CW's strength to survive on its own has been. It's kind of wild, man. Would you consider watching the Demon Slayer anime, and do you watch anime subbed or dubbed? Demon Slayer is on my radar. If I have the time or I get the mood for it, it's one of those ones I want to check out, because I haven't been able to watch or keep up with a lot of the current modern anime that a lot of people are watching these days. Demon Slayer's one, Jujutsu Kaisen's one that I've heard a lot of people talk about. Chainsaw Man is one I really want to watch as well. But there's just so much anime. Typically, it depends, really. There's some that I like dubbed, there's some that I prefer to watch subbed, but most of the time, I watch things subbed. But yeah. The Boys makes me feel dirty, and not in a good way. Fair. Kristen Cole versus Jaime Lannister. Who would win? Oh, I think Jaime would. If Jaime with both his hands, I think would rock the shit out of Kristen Cole. But that's just me. The Superman movie is meant to kick off the new universe, so I think we'll see a lot of other movies spawn out of it. Oh, for sure. But I think also we're going into a world where, obviously, superheroing, he's not the first superhero. Like, he's not, you know, there's other superheroes out there. This isn't necessarily the origin story of this world. There's a living, breathing superhero world already. It's like coming into the world of Invincible, you know. There's other hero teams, there's other superheroes, there's other people already patrolling the world before Mark ever hits the scene. So once Superman, while they've said this isn't an origin story, it's more like a year 1, year 2 kind of situation, but either way, people have been here for a long time, longer than him. So I think, based on what we're seeing with Ultraman, with the JLA, I think we're going to be seeing Superman be this standing out beacon that is separate from everybody that's been around before, with a different mentality than everybody that's had before. And I think each of these other groups are going to, in some way, represent the clashing of modern superhero takes. I mean, that's not my own theory, but I think somebody was hitting that nail right on the head with what we're seeing, because I think it shows in the visual element. Like, I said that with once the Authority was announced as its own movie. I think they are going to be 1000% going to basically be an avatar in this world for the Snyderverse. Or just the edgy superhero content in general we've gotten in the last decade, multiple decades by this point, like the 2000s to Zack Snyder's era of superheroes, where everything had to be dark, gritty, and edgy, or whatever. So I think the Authority is meant to represent that. The JLA is going to be a whole other side of that, maybe like a more MCU leaning, while Superman is going to be this fucking beacon of light that kind of comes in there in a way that we haven't seen before. That's what I'm thinking. Like, it doesn't surprise me that the previous head, Dawn Ostronoff, pretty much destroyed a lot of the relationships with the talents because she didn't like magic and sci-fi TV shows. I mean, there's just a lot of mishandling over there, but that is a big one too. Because there was a whole, I don't know if she carried over from WB when it was still WB, before it became CW. I can't remember, but I think a lot of that shows in Smallville as well. So where I am, it's not terrible, but I also don't have AC, so you gotta understand we don't get many warm days where I am either. Plenty of fires surrounding me too, but I'm not in any danger. I don't know why, when I saw that danger, my brain read dragon. Plenty of fires all around me, but don't worry, no dragons. That's how I read that at first, and I had to reread it. Well, at least everything's not too bad over there for you, Summer. I have a confession. Gen V and this season of The Boys, I've only watched the reactions to it. It's just too much for me. I mean, that's understandable. Like, it's pretty crazy. I don't know, the muck that they will steep you into sometimes. I don't think this season has been as bad as the previous seasons, personally. Gen V, I don't think is as personally, I don't think it's as bad as some of the previous seasons of The Boys. But also, I don't know, it's also a recency thing, so maybe I don't remember. I feel like this season's been pretty tame so far, The Boys. I say a joke cause I watch Hell of a Boss and Huey's experience is a real deal. If it was animated like Hell of a Boss, they would pass it and only talk about him still grieving. I don't think that necessarily equates either, but then again, that's just me. Because it's not that different. And I don't think the animated versus live action makes a difference too, because we also got to consider the fact that The Boys is a satire. It's a comedy satire show. Like, it's not a drama. It's not, it's not House of the Dragon. It's not Breaking Bad, where you're meant to be taking everything going on in this world. Like, the whole show is a commentary and a satire of the genre and the real world. Like, satire is very much so. It's not parody. It's its own commentary on real world topics, but there's a tongue-in-cheek nature to it all. So I personally, I just don't take it that seriously, but that's just me. Favorite Bad Boys movie? Probably 2, just off of the top of my head, but I haven't seen it in a long time. So, but I would probably go with 2. Red Lantern Cat had the saddest backstory. I'm hoping it does not make it to the live action. We'll see. Honestly, I haven't been that interested in The Boys Are Invincible since since the Superman show started. I personally, I've just been on all of it because I just think it's all been so, I don't know, fun. Like, we're getting a bunch of different flavors with a whole bunch of different philosophies on everything. Again, I will say Invincible and The Boys are not thematically comparable. Have you seen the behind the scenes for the duet of Blitz and Solus? I haven't yet. Not yet, no. I want to watch it. I've only held off on watching it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to react to it or not. But I still haven't actually watched it yet. Mark G had shared some concept art of an almost GL suit for Diggle. As usual, Arrowverse fans were happy assholes, rejoiced because they can beat Arrowverse again. Oh, fun. When I watch the reactions and you see the amazing acting scenes with Carl and Jeffrey Dean, it has me thinking maybe I should watch it, and then you get scenes like the sex dungeon scenes, and then I'm out. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair. I mean, there's some really damn good acting in the show. Maybe I misinterpreted that scene with you and Annie, but that's my bad if that's it. I mean, it's not. I don't think there's any wrong way to interpret it. I'm just telling you how I did. And, you know, sometimes everybody's going to look at something and see something different because we all have different life experiences and all kinds of stuff, man. Nothing new. Nothing wrong with Corridor Crew. I'm just wondering. I love watching the channel. I watch their VFX and stuntmen react breakdowns like every Saturday. I haven't watched, well, almost every Saturday. Sometimes there's a lineup of stuff that I'm like, well, I plan on watching that movie, so I'm not going to watch this segment or whatever. So sometimes I might have to skip it, but usually I watch whatever they put out every Saturday. With X-Men 97, do you think other Marvel animated series from back then, like Spider-Man the Animated Series, getting a possible revival in the other 90s Marvel cartoons? I think it is very possible, and I would like to, I want them to continue the Spider-Man, and I would love for them to do that, and I'd like to see what happens after the end of that, because I feel like that could be a lot of fun, too. The Usual Suspects equal Snyderverse fans. I enjoyed those movies, but the Gunn version appears to be much more comic book accurate. Classic Superman. Snyderverse fans seem to be toxic right now. Dude, they've always been. They've always been. Always has been. But, yeah. It's, there's a cult following out there of people that are just looking to devalue and defame anything and everything James Gunn's putting out because of what happened to their Lord Snyder that he had nothing to do with, and those two are friends, so it doesn't even make sense. What's up, good vibes? How are you? If you could be a superhero in real life, would you rather be a superhero with a mask or a superhero without a mask? Probably without. Personally, I mean, whatever. Maybe I'll do like the little, whatever you call those, the little raccoon masks type deal, or just nothing at all. Fuck it. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Like, it's a possibility. It's something that I'm going to do next week. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably go without a mask just because it'd be more comfortable, and I don't know. And I got glasses, so unless my powers cured my eyesight, I don't need to have prescription lenses in my suit's mask. Otherwise, I'd be blind as hell. So excited for Sandman Season 2. Even more of that, Jenna Coleman is coming back as well. I saw that too, so we're getting more Joanna Constantine. What's up, Sketch? Hello there. It's Morbin time. You watch long forms of One Piece and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Would you ever let yourself go through comedies like It's Always Sunny and Parks and Recreation? Yeah, for sure. I've seen a lot of Always Sunny clips, thanks to Barry, but I haven't ever really seen a full episode, but I would definitely love to watch either one of those. Always Sunny seems like a fucking batshit insane show to watch, though. I'm curious about that, though. Smallville was their most popular show. When that ended, they needed a new hit and got it with Arrow. That they did. They were desperate once Smallville came to an end. It was like, that was... I mean, I don't know what else was even on at the time when Smallville was running that even pulled the kind of numbers it did. The Boys has shown a lot of jacked and weird stuff, but honestly, Huey going through that is towards the top of the list for me as far as disturbing goes. Left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know, Boys is edgy, but still. Like, it's bad, like, but I personally feel like the Boys has done much worse up until this point. But that's, again, that's just me. That's just me. Let's see. I'm super into the House of Dragon. That scene between Rhaenyra and Alicent was amazing. Also, it's really nice seeing a little cameo of Millie. Yeah, I like that. You bringing her back in that way. Just for this little, like, glimpse. And yeah, that scene between Alicent and Rhaenyra was fantastic. There's a lot of really good scenes in this season so far. Though I've heard conflicting reports of how Arrow started. It was originally supposed to be a Smallville spinoff, but some say it was always a Green Arrow show. Others say it was pitched as Batman. I do remember hearing that it was pitched as a Batman show, but as per usual, WB doesn't want Batman on TV. I've heard the Green Arrow spinoff, but where it was going to have Justin Hartley, because he was Green Arrow in Smallville. And like I've said before, I didn't watch the first season of Arrow when it came out because I was mad they didn't use Justin Hartley. I was like, why are we doing this show and not using the Green Arrow that we know? Well, I completely turned around my tone on that once I actually watched the show. I didn't start the show proper until the second season was out. Binge watched the entire first season when it was on Netflix and then went straight into season 2 as it was airing. So I think there's some truth in the middle for sure, because there's a lot of Batman inspiration, because that was like right around the Dark Knight stuff too. Like, they wanted something grounded and serious like the Dark Knight trilogy. So that's why with Arrow they held off on anything with superpowers, metas, or anything like that for a long time, because they didn't want to tap into any of that. So, I don't know, which made it draw a lot of comparisons with Batman just naturally, and then also when you add a lot of Batman villains popping up all the time, you're going to draw that even more. I mean, when you're not allowed to use Batman and your only option is to use Oliver Queen as your stand-in for these things, a lot of the Batman parallels became very, very apparent. And I think a lot of that is just because a lot of Batman's villains are much more memorable or much more widely known to general audiences. Going back to the HHAU, I was talking about the creator apparently based their version of Charlie on Sin, as depicted in classic artwork, complete with a more snake-like appearance. Interesting. If you were a character, part of the Helliverse, who would you want to hang out with? Probably Octavia or Angel. Like, if we're blending the two, because this is the same universe. Because like, Octavia's got a very strong vibe that I feel like I share with her. I like Moxie a lot, but I feel like Moxie's snubbery might rub off a little too much on me. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. But Angel might be a good time, but also maybe a little too line pushy. I don't know. It's tough. Octavia's just chill. So, no, fuck it, Stolas. I just hang out with Stolas. I don't know why I didn't think of Stolas. I thought of literally everybody but Stolas. I hang out with Stolas. Sad boy needs a fucking friend. I'll say the problem I have with this new DCU is the amount of attention being paid to the aesthetics rather than capturing the spirit of said material. The amount of unrealistic things being validated. What? I have no idea what you mean. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what you mean. Watching from Myrtle Beach on vacation right now. Man, I haven't been there in a long time. Things like, this character has to be blonde with blue eyes, and this has to be red hair. I don't care about it. I need a good representation of the spirit than the aesthetic. I don't know how we have gotten anything that implies that in the slightest. So we don't know any of that. Like, no one knows any of that. So I don't know how you could have a problem with that when you don't know these characters and how they're going to be portrayed. Like, that's making a judgment off of casting. Like, that I'm sorry, that doesn't compute with me. Let's see. I've been enjoying The Boys season 4, and there have been some moments in the show that has me going, what the fuck? That's The Boys, man. What's up, your boy Juice? I don't know how to say that. I don't know how that's meant to be said. Fucking gnat in here, man. I'm doing well. Bad Boys 2 is easily the best one. I want to do like a Bad Boys marathon, man. It's been so long since I've seen any of the first two. Any of the originals. I'm glad you enjoyed Bad Boys Ride or Die, but I think you know what my favorite scene is. I don't know off the top of my head. So Marcus, how are you? Did you hear about the creator under fire because he was saying that Huey's SA and trauma in The Boys was funny? Somebody was talking about that earlier. I need to see what exactly he said. I mean, like I said, like, the scene was played for comedy. And it's a satire comedy show. And it's not the first time they've done it, so I'm not sure what the hang-up is now. But again, yeah, I don't know. I have to see exactly what he said, though. Do you think that when we're done with these shows like The Boys and Invincible, people will look at them with admiration towards them, or be like, well, that was a thing, and move on? Move along, you know what I mean? I think we'll have that with The Boys one of these days. I'm not sure exactly. The Boys is very much so going to be a time capsule of its era because it's a satire, because it's a comedy, because it's poking fun and making commentary on the climate of the era it is birthed in. It is kind of locked into a time period. Invincible, I don't think, has that problem. Invincible is just your average coming-of-age superhero story. Invincible, maybe. We'll see. I mean, Season 2 left a lot of people with a bad taste in their mouth because they found it very lackluster. But I'm not one of them, but we'll see. They very well could be both end up in the future being, well, that was a thing. I don't know. I'm okay with gore and acting amazing. It's pointless, over-sexualized scenes. It gets a bit tiresome. I can get with that. The depravity, the debauchery sometimes seems a little immature sometimes. But I don't know, man. The more you hear about stuff that's going on behind the scenes and all these other places and stuff like that, like, while it may seem like that, unfortunately, sick shit like that is happening when you don't even expect it all the fucking time. And maybe that's when The Boys is being one of the realest it's being, which is the sick and disgusting thing to think about. Like, Snyder's movies have by far the most comic accurate suits in the live action media, but the entire introduction was so piss poorly handled and managed that it turned everybody off. Okay, and we're not there yet. We're not there yet to make that judgment about gun stuff. Have I read the comic book Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: The Return? I'm on issue 2. No, not yet. I have not. That's Amy Jo Johnson's comic run with Boom, right? I haven't read that yet. Marvel or DC? If either company offered you control, would you let your favorite character be the first entry, or make your guy in mind, say Spider-Man, be introduced later, but access his cosmic form? I mean, comic form? Cosmic form. I don't know what you're talking about. Where's the other half of your comment? Oh, here we are. To snap his fingers, but lose the power up to being still alive in MCU continuity, but didn't die for... What are you talking about? To snap his fingers, but lose the power up to still be alive in your... If I had to pick between the two, I would go with DC, because I prefer DC. The rest of your question, I have no idea what you're talking about. I know, at most, a lot of Deadpool 3 cameos will be brief, but my OCD brain wants to rewatch all the Fox movies, so I for sure get the most out of it. I know it's dumb and crazy, but the brain be that way. I was that way when they announced the Crisis on Infinite Earth stuff for the CW crossover, that they were bringing all these other things back. I watched all of that 2000s Birds of Prey show because I wanted to make sure I was in the know for the cameos, because they were confirmed to be coming back. And that was for like 5 seconds. So it's not that crazy compared to some things I've done for similar events. Which superhero team would you want to be a part of if you were a superhero? The Avengers, the Justice League, or the X-Men? Probably the X-Men, because they're more human in that way. You know, does that make sense? Like, they're just like, I feel like I could hang out with the X-Men. I don't know that I could feel like I could hang out with the Avengers or hang out with the Justice League, if that makes sense. Also, I'm not sure if I've said this, but I recently got a replica of the Smallville jacket, and compliments on it from my coworkers who know the show. Also, because it's a cool jacket. It is a really cool jacket. I know some people that have that jacket. It is a pretty sick jacket, all things considered. Which is more dangerous Joker? Joker and Carnage, or Deathstroke and Toxin, or Venom and Batman? Joker and Carnage. Easy. So Michael Hack, how are you doing? I mean, The Boys has done worse. It's just seeing that happen to Huey, a character I really like, and right after his dad dies, it was just like hitting us with double whammies of F you, Huey. I mean, that's very fair. They did fuck over Huey real hard, especially while he's already very emotionally vulnerable. Because hell, in that moment at the end of the episode, when he starts breaking down, he was like, he transitions from all the shit that they did to me into I miss my dad. Like, so like the comfort of his dad being around, as much as he didn't always agree with his dad or thought his dad was just very standoffish and passive, he was at least there. It was kind of like this rock that he could always rely upon being there, because his dad would never change. He never did anything new. He had talked about the same stuff every time. It was like this element of consistency in Huey's life was gone. So yeah, it was very fuck you Huey there at the end. But I don't think it was, well, moving on. I don't know. I don't even know what I was going to say there. I just had like a brain thought, and my train just completely like derailed. As much as I love Arrow, I never understood why they use Batman villains in story arcs so much. Like, I love the characterization, but it's basically Green Batman for a while. I still disagree with while there are similarities, I dare not devolve it into Green Batman. I will never be one of those people. I understand how we get there, but I think there's more nuance to it than that. But yeah. However, this is my favorite. This is the only version of Green Arrow I actually love, let alone like for the most part. I've never been a huge Oliver Queen fan or Green Arrow fan until the Arrow version, and it might be because he's a little more. He's got a little Batman in him. Special shout out to Derek Wilson's performance as Tech Knight. It was quite memorable. Introduced in Gen V, and well, that's that. Let's see. I was watching 911 Lone Star. There was a little kid in it that I recognized, just looked it up, and it was little Din Djarin. So cute. Sorry for the random. That's funny. That shit happens all the time when I'm going back and watching old stuff, you know? Like, bring it back to X-Files. You know, when I was watching X-Files for the first time, and you see, like, a young, like, I think she was, like, 10, 11, maybe 12-year-old Lucy Liu, or an 8-year-old Shia LaBeouf, you know, like, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Question, if you were to get a new Street Fighter movie, what would you like to see from M. Bison? Like, would you like more Raul Julia or something more serious, like a good Legend of Chun-Li version? I never actually watched that Legend of Chun-Li movie, so I can't comment on anything from that. I liked Raul Julia. I think that Street Fighter movie, though, very much so had its own taste, its own flavor, its own vibe. I don't know if that necessarily lines up with the Street Fighter I'm familiar with. I would maybe, but somewhere, like, if you wanted to, like, I think somewhere in the middle between cartoonish, crazy villain and, like, what they did with Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. I think if you could find, like, a sweet spot between those, I think it'd work. Let's see. What about the anime Seven Deadly Sins and the Four Knights of the Apocalypse anime? I don't really know too much about them. I've heard of Seven Deadly Sins, but I don't really know too much about it. Four Knights of the Apocalypse, I haven't heard of at all. But they're not, I wouldn't say they're on my radar, though, at the moment, for those reasons. Really enjoyed that 90s show reactions. Thank you, Durkee. I'm excited for part 3 this October. I'm really looking forward to it. Had a lot of fun with season 2. Part 2, whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure for every Green Arrow villain they also use 3 Batman villains. Like, for every Dark Archer, we got a Royal Flush Gang. Well, the Royal Flush Gang, were they in Arrow? I know they showed up a bunch in Flash. I don't remember if they were in Arrow. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember. But Deadshot, yes. Deathstroke, yes. Ra's al Ghul, yes. Well, the entire League, for that matter. Talia al Ghul. Later down the line. Yeah, there's a lot more, too, that I'm not thinking of at the moment. Rewatching Atla, and I don't know how hot of a take this is, but Avatar Returns, the second episode, is one of the best of the show. Sokka trying to defend the tribe, Aang and Zuko having 3 scuffles, riding off ending, plus vibes. I mean, I don't know if I would say that's a hot take. It is a damn good episode, all things considered. I really feel like it was a crime, because they aired together, those first 2 episodes, but then you put them on the DVD and you put them on streaming separate. Like, it's like one big episode is what it's meant to be, because they premiered back to back. So that's the difference of watching it when it came out versus watching it after the fact. But they do that with other things later, though, which is weird. The Netflix ordering of the things really fucks some things up, and I'm not sure why they did that, but it is what it is. Yeah, but that's a good episode. There's a lot of great moments in that episode as well. Estola's second ever friend. Would you sleep with him? No. Nah, I'm good. Oh, that cat from Puss in Boots. Yeah, nah. No. No, we will hang out, we will watch TV, we will have some fun, we'll talk. But nah. Have I ever watched Dexter? If so, what are your thoughts? I've never seen it, so 0 thoughts. It's one of those shows, again, like many others, I've had recommended end on end over the years, but I've just never gotten into it. Did you see Batman Ninja movie? I saw the first one. Didn't enjoy it. I was very bored until the end when they got in the giant spider monkey mech, or whatever that, I can't remember. I know there was a monkey mech at the end, but I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. Do I have any plans to check out before the sequel, which is insane that we're getting one. I'm shocked we're getting a sequel for it, but there's actual Justice League members in it now. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I might give it a chance still. I'm not going to write it off, but I never read a Power Rangers comic before. Boom has some really good Power Ranger storylines, so highly recommend any of their comics. But this one from Amy Jo, I haven't cracked it open. I haven't really heard. I've heard some people sing some praises of it, but I haven't really heard a lot of word of mouth about this one. I think you may also enjoy Spy X Family. That's another one that's popping off here in the modern era that I've heard brought up a lot, but you know, who knows? What movie have you watched years ago that had bad CGI? For me, it's the Van Helsing movie. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of movies with bad CGI. I mean, the first one that came to mind was Beowulf. Saw that fucker in theaters, and that is a hideous movie. For the record, Justin Hartley wasn't interested in a Green Arrow spinoff. CW, WTV, and DC were interested, especially to keep Berlanti happy as he was furious after his treatment on the GL movie. That's fair. What are we talking about here? What's up, Vixen? Whatever you guys want. When we do these, I just read chat. So whatever you guys ask, whatever you are talking about, you guys kind of lead the discussion pretty much. Just joined. Not sure if it was discussed already. Hell of a Boss is going to be a 50-episode series. Lots of time to go into the next 2 seasons with 30 episodes. So I heard something along those lines, but I haven't seen the exact quote that came from. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like a ballpark. Like, it's not an exact number. Like, they're not like 50 episodes and we're done. Like, it might be 48, 40, 50, 52, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen the quote, but everybody's like hammering in on these lines, and I'm not sure if that's meant to be taken literally or not. Because I know they were aiming for something along the same vein as BoJack Horseman, but that could give or take however long it needs to be to tell the story. So who knows? You think we'll see Terry Silver at all in Cobra Kai season 6? Yeah, he's 100% in the season. He's in the poster. He's in the trailer. Oh yeah, we're not done with Terry. We're not done with Terry at all. I mean, if we were, like, I'd be shocked. Which are you enjoying the most between The Acolyte, The Boys, or House of the Dragon? Probably the House of the Dragon right now. Like, I like The Boys. The Boys is fun, but I'm not like hungry for The Boys every week. I'm continue to be drawn in and fascinated with House of the Dragon. The Acolyte has been very hit or miss all season long. So episode 5 was hype as fuck, and this last episode I actually did quite enjoy. I'm really looking forward to the new DCU. Hope it does well. We'll see. I always want my DC stuff to succeed. I don't really want any DC thing to fail, and I want to like all of it, but it's not always the case. It's the reason why, after Hartley said no, they just decided to make the show and its own thing, and Berlanti and Guggenheim were in debt to Smallville and constantly referencing it, even in Crisis on Infinite Earths. I mean, understandably so. Anytime you get a bunch of guys with power, they're going to abuse it in some way. Some will be SA, some will be exploitation of others, some will be flat sadism. Power corrupts. after all. And guys, gender neutral. Yeah. Anytime anybody gets a level of power, it just depends on, really, a lot of it too is like a way to confront their own trauma or powerlessness when they didn't have power. So it just depends on the person who obtains it. I don't think everybody gets power and everybody becomes a terrible, shitty person. But a lot of people have their own trauma, and a lot of time when they get power, they kind of find a way to get revenge on the world. Even if it's not towards those that did it to them, they somehow find a way to take it out on somebody else. If we had an animated Marvel/Capcom movie/show, what is a few things you'd be incredibly excited to see, like a dream scenario? Dante and Chris Redfield fighting Carnage. Just give me that. I'd be super excited. Favorite DMC character? I mean, two of my favorite Capcom franchises right there. Favorite DMC character, favorite Resident Evil character, busting some ass against somebody that fittingly they would fight. You know, it seems like Carnage is such like an amalgam of what a Resident Evil game or DMC game may have you fight. ¿Qué pasa, Omni? What's up, Ronan? How are you doing, man? I hope you had a good 4th and a good weekend. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Would you rather work for Carmy at his restaurant or Mr. Krabs at his restaurant? Carmy. He'd actually try to pay me. And wouldn't try to scam me, more than likely. I watched Blue Beetle and Wonka for the first time. Very much enjoyed both. I did really enjoy Blue Beetle. It's definitely got some issues, but I had fun. Its heart was in the right place. The Wonka movie surprised the shit out of me. I did not expect to enjoy it half as much as I did, and I really did come out of it on the positive end. I really enjoyed Wonka. What's up, Rice Cake? I'm doing well. How about yourself? For me, I love to see Cyclops and Ryu hit a bad guy with a Shoryuken, and Dante and Virgil getting a drink with Wolverine and Morph. Oh, that's cute. There was an episode of 911 Lone Star that Daniel Southworth was on, who was originally the Quantum Ranger in Power Rangers Time Force. Seeing anybody who used to be a Power Ranger pop up somewhere is always fun. Like, if I'm being honest, as great as the writing was in the first 3 seasons, I love it more in season 4 and beyond when it embraces a more lighthearted tone, but could still be serious. That's very true. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of season 3, but 4 I'm really enjoying so far. I think 4 is one of my favorite seasons. Or wait, are we talking about... We're talking about Arrow. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think 4 gets way too much shit. Like, way too much shit. Like, is it as good as the first 3 seasons? I don't think so. But I think it's, other than the one thing everybody hates about that season, I don't think it's a terrible season. Marvel is returning to comic book Hall H. What are you hoping to get? Just give me some Daredevil news. Maybe a trailer for Daredevil. Other than that, I'm not thirsting or hungering over anything they've got on their slate right now. So give me something that makes me get a little chub. I'll be happy. That's it. Peacemaker versus Soldier Boy. Who would win? In a fight? Soldier Boy. Should we be worried about what Homelander could do if Firecracker should die in the final episodes of season 4 of The Boys? I don't think he'd give two shits, to be honest. Like, sure, he's got a little milk fountain at the moment, but I don't think he really cares. I don't think her death would make him snap or anything like that. When Spider-Man had flight and cosmic powers, my question was, if his movie isn't the Iron Man of your MCU, would you want him to use the Infinity Gauntlet and also have both alive post Endgame? No, I would not want him to have flight and cosmic powers at all. I just want him to be Spider-Man. But I would want him to be like the through line of everything, because Spider-Man is like one of the few characters that has crossed over with everybody. And yeah, I'd want him to be around post-Endgame. I wouldn't want you to kill him off at all. I think I'm also getting kind of angry because Diggle's concept GL suit looks much better than the new movie one, but the amount of shit Arrowverse is getting from Daniel RPK and Cosmic Book is just hurts, man. Is the actual picture out? Can we look at it? Or is it behind Daniel's fucking paywall? Have I been enjoying the bear? Hell yeah. Any favorite characters so far? Sydney and Carmi. Easy. Easy. And Marcus. They showed up at the first season as a family of bank robbers. Right. You're right. I forgot about that. Odd question, but what worlds would you want to see in Cage 4? Given the premise, I'm almost 99.9% sure we're getting a Star Wars world set on Endor. But I would want it to be from stuff outside the general Disney pocket. Star Wars, Indiana Jones. I would want them to do pirates, but they already fucked that up by doing pirates in the main universe. Since we're on the mirror of reality, it needs to be something else. Or Marvel universe, give us one of those. Willow. Like, I know like most of these are Lucas stuff, but like get us stuff along those lines. Like it's gonna be a little different than what we've seen before. Considering the narrative choice at the end to have Sora trapped in an alternate universe reality altogether. You know, what is it? The universe of fiction, so they say, but his universe is fiction to theirs. So it's just an alternate reality. I don't know. But I would like it because of the hyperrealism, the new engine and stuff like that, and with us being in Tokyo as our hub city, as our hub world is being fucking Tokyo. I know they're calling it Quadratum, but it's fucking Tokyo. Like separating the world we've known up until this point and the other one in this way, I would love to see them have leaned more into live action properties. And you could have done that with Tron and Pirates easily, but they already used those worlds before. So it's like, what are we left with? You know, maybe we could do some more real world Pixar related stuff, bring that over in here. I'm not sure, but I think we'll get some Lucasfilm stuff. I think we'll get some Marvel stuff. And I think we'll get some, I don't know what else we're going to get. Those are what I want to see, though. How cool would it be if we got a DC versus Street Fighter game or animated movie? And did you hear that Keanu Reeves is going to be voicing Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic Movie 3? Has that been confirmed? Because that's been just a rumor for the longest time. Has that ever finally been confirmed? For a Flush Gang in The Flash was post-crisis and they all had powers. Right, thank you. Wish they would have had John Diggle be Green Lantern. That would have been cool. I'm still so upset that that never happened. I think most of us fans knew that Joe Kessler was Butcher's imagination, but I enjoyed how the reveal was handled, like how Butcher's found out and Joe telling Becca to shut up. That whole scene was amazing. And I wish I didn't know. I wish I didn't even think about that. You know, I'm wondering if I would have picked up on that myself had somebody not suggested it by episode 2. So that whole reveal, though, regardless of it being obvious by that point, was amazing. Like, the realization for Butcher enough was made it worth it for me. Thoughts on part 3 of that 90s show. I think Bob will pay to fix it all. Turns into a let's never speak of this again, but in true sitcom fashion, someone goes and blurts something out to Red and Kitty. Probably something along those lines, but we have like, what, 2 weeks to fix it? I'm excited though, because Kevin Smith did confirm that he will be featured more in part 3, so I'm excited for that. So yeah, I guess they are for the 90s. You know, he's taking over for this new generation as their hookup. You know, Leo is retiring, like he said in the show, and it's going to be Jay and Bob who take over, which is perfect because they are basically the iconic stoners of the 90s and early 2000s. I feel like when watching for the first time that the first episode of Atlo wasn't as good at a hook as it could have been, and that the second is where it gets going. So, you know, they both aired together makes it way much more sense. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Like, that's why when I see like people reacting to it, and if they do like one episode at a time and they just watch the first episode, I'm just like, I don't know if it was enough. I don't know if it was enough because that's not how it was meant to be viewed. Because it's a two-parter. So like, whatever. Any plans on reacting to Suicide Squad, the Isekai anime? Currently, no. There's not been anything I've seen about it that has interested me in the slightest. But I don't know. I keep eyeing up Baradur, Lego Kit, and Rivendell, but I have no room for it. Damn it. Buy another house just for your Lego kits. Do you think Stolas and Blitz should just end the series as friends or work through their individual issues before eventually reconciling? Oh, I think that's gonna happen at the end of this season. I think that's kind of clear. But they're in game like that. By everything that I've heard from Brandon and everything I've heard from Viv, they're in game. Like I wholly believe they will be. But who knows? Anything could change. They've apparently got the end of the show already written. Like Brandon Rogers and Viv have both talked about how the show from here on is all completely mapped. So I don't know. So they already know where these characters are going to end. So I lament that. Not gonna lie, Geek Ledger true for me, but season 2 onward. I'm not getting involved in that. It was weird, but some episodes are titled Part 1, Part 2 separately, while others are mashed together. Yeah, there's some weird organization going on in the way they aired everything or combined things in Netflix for some reason. I know there's 2 episodes that are combined together that while I get it, it just screws everything up. Like if you're watching episode, like if you're trying to keep log of everything, there's one episode has 2 chapters in it, and that's not how it was meant to be. So it's kind of annoying. I started taking psychiatric medication a while ago, and even my friend is in the same situation as me. I haven't gone to school these days. I feel so tired. I hope you can react to One Punch Man. Sorry. I hope everything's okay. I hope you're reacting well to the medication. I know that can be a little iffy to dial in sometimes, but yeah, as far as One Punch Man goes, I've seen the first season. I haven't watched season 2. I don't know if there's a season 3, but both of those creators' shows, I've only watched the first seasons of Mob Psycho and One Punch Man. I haven't watched any of the subsequent seasons. Not because I didn't like them. I really enjoyed them. It's just I haven't got around to it. So who knows? Maybe one day. Let's see. If you have seen Adventure Time, how dark could it get if it was an anime? And what are your thoughts on a live-action God of War? I mean, we're getting a live-action God of War. It's already in production with Amazon, based around God of War 4, which could be fun. I hope they do it well. I like God of War a lot. As far as Adventure Time goes, I'm not seeing a lot of it. What I have seen, it does have a weirdly, colorfully dark sense of humor. So as an anime, I'm not sure if it would be even more dark or not. I mean, anime doesn't automatically make things edgier or darker. Like, it's all the nature of it. Like, there's tee-hee, ha-ha, baby animes all over the place. So, like, I don't know if that would change what Adventure Time is at all. I don't know. Been reading the new Transformers comics from Skybound. You should check them out. It's a more mature take on the G1 Transformers. I like Transformers. I'm not gonna lie. I do like Transformers, but I don't love Transformers. I love Beast Wars. That's what I did enjoy. I was I was never a huge fan of the cars and the planes and the tanks and the automobiles. I liked the dinosaurs and the animals, like that shit. So that was my jam growing up. If you got an anime or a good reboot of Ben 10, how dark could they go? Why are we keep going to like how dark could they go because it's an anime? Why are we locked in that only anime can be dark? Because that's not true at all. I don't understand why we're going with these questions. An anime Ben 10 though could be sick. I haven't watched Ben 10 since the original one, or whatever, the one where they were teenagers. I watched the original one. I don't even know if I finished it, but I watched most of the original one, and I watched the one where him, Gwen, and Kevin were kind of in their mid-teens. Didn't finish that, but I watched a lot of that. After that, I didn't watch a single thing. I can't remember if I've asked this before, but have you ever watched Parasite? The anime, yes. The movie, like the Korean movie that was getting all that acclaim a while back, I haven't seen that yet still. I need to watch that, if that's the one you're talking about. Would you sleep with Blitz or Fizz from either relationship? Either you had permission from their partners or wanted to try to hook up. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay not being involved here. Like, I love them both. I adore them both. But I'm afraid of them both in the bedroom. And also, to many a surprise, they're batting on a different team than I am. If that makes any sense. Let's see. But if you wanted to put Millie in that mix, well then, that's a whole other conversation. Let's see. How do you feel about the upcoming Blue Beetle animated series continuing where the live-action movie left off? Fuck yeah, go for it. Less risk, way more, no ceiling with the budget. So, same cast, and they've confirmed it's in the DCU. This one is. So weird how they're doing. It's so weird how they're deciding the verbiage that they're using around a lot of these different projects, man. But I'm excited for it. I'm just glad it's not dead in the water, that after that movie flopped, that they didn't just drop it all together. And I know they said that Sholo was still going to be continuing on, blah, 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 all that. But, you know, at least knowing something is planned around the corner than having fucking Dane Whitman, or whatever the fuck his name was, Jon Snow, hanging off. Like, oh, I'll be back sometime with this sword. 18 years later, and then nothing at all. We've heard zero shit from half of these post-credit scenes with the MCU. At least tell me something's happening with some of these characters. Favorite Spider-Man villain that isn't Green Goblin, Doc Ock, or Venom? Shocker. Is that a shocker? I always loved Shocker. I loved his outfit in the old cartoon. I would want to say Lizard, but he's more of an anti-hero. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man characters, period, is the Lizard. But, yeah, Shocker. I would have to go with Shocker. I love his design, and I love his gauntlets. I love the pew and all that shit. Let's go. Should I watch The Boys? I've heard great things about it. If you can handle debaucherous, sexualized, grotesque violence and social commentary, go for it. It's an awesome show. It's a little immature at times in the way that it handles some of these things, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's definitely not going to be for everybody. I think you'll know pretty quick if it's going to be up your alley or not. Like, maybe in the first 10 seconds. Not 10 seconds. 5 minutes of the first episode, you might know. It's a good test. That scene unsettles me to this day still. Almost done with season 2 of The Bear. Very good show. Can't wait to see your reaction to certain episode down the road. Dude, when I was watching Bad Boys Ride or Die, they played a trailer for season 3 of The Bear. And I was just like, what the fuck? Closed my eyes and I was just going, I can't hear nothing. Yeah, nah. If you watch The Boys, you need a safe word. Oh, it's funny. Just do something that gives me a little chub. That's it. Omni quote of the day. Yeah, I just want to be excited for something that isn't Daredevil that Marvel has planned. Because right now, that's the only project I would dare use the word excited for. Like, I want to watch it, I need to watch it, I'm excited for that, and I can't wait. Everything else, I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch it. That's it. I could see Ryan dying at the end of the season, making Homelander completely unhinged going into the final. Ooh. Oh, what if he sacrifices himself for Butcher? Wouldn't that fuck them both up so hard? It's Justin, just without the 10. So it's Just. Okay, your boy Just. Gotcha. Thank you. I feel like I asked that 100 years ago, but I'm actually not that far behind this weekend compared to other ones. Favorite new movie release of the year, since we've had a little over halfway done so far. What have I seen this year? I mean, as far as movies I've seen this year, oh, I forgot to do the thing because I've had to organize it this year, so I could try to track things a little easier. Just actually add the year in the title of my videos, so that helps me when I'm looking back. Let's see. Oh, well, this is it. Favorite movie I've seen this year might be Dune Part 2 or Godzilla x Kong. I mean, the only movies that have released this year I have seen is Dune Part 2, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Godzilla x Kong, Fall Guy, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Love Lies Bleeding, Furiosa, and now Bad Boys. Ride or Die. And that's pretty high up there as well. But I'm probably gonna go either Dune 2 or Kong, Godzilla x Kong. Another thing I love to see is a MC animated series is Spider-Man and Frank West fighting against zombies and vampires alongside Blade and Chris Redfield, you know. That'd be cool. Speaking of Frank West, there's a remake of Dead Rising coming out, I think. Yes, literally the next thing. Speaking of Frank, this game is getting a remake and it looks really good, except I saw people bitching about them paywalling his classic model. What do you think would drive what do you think of the drive by movie buffs and others to reignite the passion for physical media and libraries becoming the new DVD rental stores? I think a lot of that just comes down to like the way that movies can just disappear now. Like if they're digital, if they're whatever, some movies aren't even being sold physically, so then you can never actually guarantee you have a way to watch a thing if you can't physically have a hold on it. Willow, gone forever, unless you pirated it or people recorded it, you know, it's delisted completely. Infinity Train, all these other shows that, you know, have come and gone or whatever, they just disappear. Like at any moment, a show or a movie you love can just be delisted from even the people that own the damn show. Like, can just get rid of it, and then you just don't have any access to it at all. That's why like preservation is such a huge thing in the emulation community for video games, because some games like you cannot buy, you cannot download, you cannot find anywhere else. So the only option is to rip them in any hope of being restored or kept around in the histories or logged or anything like that. And we're seeing more and more that streaming and these digital medias are just really fucking over a lot of people. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the best way to go. We're getting a new Bleach game called Rebirth of Souls. I saw that. I know people are getting really excited for it real quick when we haven't seen any actual gameplay yet. We are in desperate need of a good Bleach game. The last one was Soul of Resurrection, and that was still not that great, but that's the best one we've had in a really long time. So I'm hoping for a good one. Hell, because right now the only good anime games that come to mind are Dragon Ball and Naruto. Like, the rest of them are so hit or miss. So which DC hero is your favorite? Batman. And who would you be your first solo movie entry? Or would you have your excitement produce a great DC universe? I think if you're kicking off a universe, you kick it off with Superman. If you're doing it, but he's not my favorite, so I don't know if that makes sense. I wonder what movie they could use if Star Wars was in Kingdom Hearts. Oh, it's 100% going to be Return of the Jedi. I wholeheartedly expect it to be Return of the Jedi. The map they showed, the foot in the image is an ATST, and that is indoors, the exact indoor model and groundwork used from Battlefront. Like, there's nothing else it could be. So, it's definitely going to be indoor. And I guarantee if we use anything Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts, it's going to be OT related. It's going to be the original trilogy. And given Kingdom Hearts, Ewoks, all that stuff, you know, overturning and defeating the Empire for good, I think that's a good place to set it in. For good. Doing a rewatch of Umbrella Academy, getting ready for the final season. I love 5. Me too, man. Me too. Victor's still my favorite character, but I do love me some 5 the more the series has gone on. There's a connection between Ward and Kylo Ren that I never noticed before. Ward's closure ideology is similar to Kylo Ren's let the past die. Kill it if you have to. There's some bleed over there. It's been confirmed that Keanu Reeves is the voice of Shadow the Hedgehog. Thank you. I'm curious to hear him in action. Hey Shams, how are you? Hope everything's well on your end. It's been a while. What's up, Baronessa? If Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to need 30 Keyblades from there. I think it's a 99%. Based on the screenshots from that Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, it has to be Star Wars that they showed as one of the worlds. Love Stacy's character in that 90s show. Gave me vibes of Caroline of the original series. I hope we get to see more of her. There is some parallel there, isn't there? But yeah, I think we'll see some more of her. She's too much fun. There's a lot of things you can do with that. Yeah, Guggenheim has released the concept design of the Diggle suit. Somebody post the suit in the Discord, please. I want to look at it. In light of the Last Boys episode, I got a safe word for upcoming episodes in case things go out of hand again. Yeah, man. Mark also added the concept suit was designed so they could sneak in hints without triggering DC. DC found out and put a stop after the design. Why are they so fucking protective over Batman and fucking Green Lantern of all people? Batman I kinda get. I'm good and excited. I have a vocal exam to study jazz in conservatory, so I'm in vocal lessons 6 hours a day. Damn. Hey, I get it, man. Good luck on the exam. Hope you kill it. Slay it. There's a non-profit video store where you can rent videos by mail called Scarecrow Videos for those who think their local libraries have too few options. Scarecrow has about 150,000 movies. Holy shit. That's wild. Another house I'm going to need the money just to buy these kits is very awesome, but very expensive. Also very true. Really interested to see Stella's backstory. Yeah, she's a villain, but it would be really interesting to get to see more of her. I mean, she's always been a firecracker, that's for sure. Like, when Solus was being shown her picture, she's strangling the shit. Like, angrily strangling one of the... I don't know if that was... I'm pretty sure it was a doll, but very well could have been another human being. Well, demon, whatever. So yeah, of her background, sorry, sent too soon. I don't know. If they find a way to make her sympathetic, I think that'll be really interesting. Am I the only person who chuckled when My Adventures with Superman 2.6 gave Superman a head socket? That was a big trend in 90s comics. Same with the electric powers when it was revealed for the first episode. Head socket. Oh, the thing with his mask, like the head ring. Yeah. I did mildly chuckle a little bit. Any plans to see Maxine? I'm going to try to see Maxine this week. I still need to try to see the new Quiet Place. But Maxine, I definitely want to see because I liked X a lot and I thought Pearl was awesome. So I do want to see Maxine, though I've heard even people who were fans of those two movies have been a little mixed on this one. But I want to see it for myself. Anime versions are edgy and dark. I'm sorry, I've seen Sailor Moon and Shinesman, or Pokemon, or Digimon, or Zatch Bell, or God, like it never ends. You know, like I don't know. Just like anything else, like there's a spectrum there. Transformers more than meets the eye. That they do. Clarification: the idea that took one of the more infamous moments from Superman's history and made it actually cool and make some amounts of sense. Very true. How to Train Your Dragon Funko Pop of Hiccup and Toothless is adorable. Also, the Batman 89 30th anniversary Funkos are really awesome, especially Batman in his Batmobile. I'm gonna have to look at those. I haven't seen any of those yet. No, I started watching Attack on Titan and just started thinking about some of my childhood cartoons. Could be interesting if they got an anime that brought a darker take on them. Fair enough. It doesn't necessarily need to be an anime to do that, though. But if you wanted an anime to make a more mature anime style adaptation of something, that could be very different. But yeah, Attack on Titan, man, I absolutely love that series. Love it to death. If you want to watch The Boys, you need a safe word. I'm gonna recommend Zendaya as the safe word. I'll be honest, it's really odd to me how much Daniel RPK, whatever other dipshits keep saying Arrowverse fans for their franchise is worthless, and they keep posting about it on Twitter. It's an easy farm, man. Easy farm. You think they'll ever do Funko Pops for Has-Been Hotel? They really should. You know, I get with Hell of a Boss going to U2s instead. I get that, but like Has-Been under A24 and under Amazon, get them some Funkos. I want to buy them. Koyu joins Real Rejects watching the show, wishes for an Ocean's 11 of the Sinister Six. Do you agree? Also, the show is Spectacular Spider-Man. Gotcha. I mean, that would be pretty wild, actually. You know, I'd be down for something like that, for sure. Does anyone know when Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will be on Disney Plus? That I don't know. The only thing I'm worried about with the Boys universe is them starting to do other language shows. Not that other countries don't deserve to see themselves represented, I just don't see a bunch of white guy writers doing satire well in other languages and cultures. Because we have the, like the South American one coming out. Like, it was in like The Boys Mexico or something like that. That's coming out that I forget, but I can't remember who all was attached to that. I mean, Gael Garcia Bernal is the one that is in charge of that. So, and the scribe from Blue Beetle, Gareth Dene Alcacer. I don't know. I completely butchered that. So it's not like it's not, well, it's not run by Eric. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have final say on everything, but they're getting, appropriate people to head it, at least. But yeah, the satire, that's going to be an interesting thing to see. how that's handled. Who would you say is the most menacing, John Kreese or Terry fucking Silver? Hands down, easily for me, is the more menacing of the two. We could have a more mature version of a Blade cartoon, and that would kick so hard. That would be awesome. Like Eric Kripke is show running The Boys Mexico. Why? He's not. I mean, not based on what I read. Because I've tried to search The Boys Pops for no reason, but remember U2's only does them. All right. Wait, I could have swore there were The Boys Funkos. Yeah, there are. I mean, like I've seen them. I've seen them in stores. What can we expect? A addict reaction? God damn it! I don't know. I don't know, Ginger. I don't know. One day, someday. Movies and series are just gone. I could not watch Willow because I was waiting to have more time to binge it, and it went poof. Plenty of games that you cannot get legally anywhere right now as well. It's just shitty, man. It's super shitty the way this is all. I get it, the convenience of it, but there should still always be an option. I don't know. That has a much more tangible thing. But that's the thing. They want to fucking own. Like, they don't want us to own anything anymore, right? You know, none of these companies do. You know, well, who was it? Ubisoft or one of the big kickoff gaming companies was like, you guys need to get comfortable knowing that you don't own your games. We do. You don't own shit. I'm like, fuck you. It's so stupid. Oh my God. It's so annoying. Find a passionate creator from Mexico that loves The Boys and understands the local culture. It's satirizing. I mean, sounds like they did. I don't know, unless I'm reading wrong information. Is there Agent Shield merch that you plan on getting? Not at the moment. I'm not loving it that much. Yeah, I love it, but I'm not like, I need to get me Agents of Shield merch. I'm not at that point. Anywho, see y'all next time. Remember that you are loved and cherished by everyone, and let the words of naysayers wash over you like a river over stone. Hey, but even all that river, all that water, still erodes that stone slowly for time. Anyway, what's up, Look? How you doing? Batman and Green Lantern are the only ones that have survived every reboot, keeping stuff from the previous continuities. That is also very true. No, stop it. Meanwhile, does a horrible Guy Gardner suit. Yup. Disney owns 50% of the TV rights to Batman, so they get approval on Batman and TV. When Batman 66 was produced, the only way that it's there was if he got part of the TV rights. I'm pretty sure that has reverted, because I've seen that. I spouted that fact for a long time as well, but I think that has been since corrected. But I don't know. Because I know for the TV rights, Disney owns it, as far as live action goes. And that used to be the case, because it came with what they got from Fox. Or ABC, like you said. I thought it was Fox, but I could be wrong. Either way, ownership transferred for TV rights for Batman. Which is why we see Bruce Wayne all the time on TV. You know, we don't see Batman. But, like, I don't know. But I feel like I read an article not that long ago that said that this has been cleared up. The ownership aspect of this has since been cleared up. But I don't think anyone really knows anymore. Can anyone post the concept art for JL-esque suit and the GLS suit for Diggle and Omni's channel? Please do. No one has yet, so. This was before Disney owned ABC, so WB had no reason to expect they'd eventually hold the rights to hostage. It's my favorite Scott Pilgrim episode of the show is the last one because it's just so fucking epic. Sounds ridiculous with the hate. Rights deal expires after 99 years. Have I seen Yu-Gi-Oh? I have. I have seen all of the original Yu-Gi-Oh. I have a couple of, I've got a Yami Yugi back here, as well as a Dark Paladin and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Honestly, we do not need more darker tones. They often end up being childish and ultra-violent for no reason. X-Men 97 showed what a true mature writing can do without being dark or shocking value. I think Invincible does that really well. Because it's dark, but only in the way that it's portraying the realism of it. I don't feel like it's... I mean, while the violence can get a little over the top, the violence is kind of part of the world. Whereas with The Boys, it can at times very much so be childish and over the top just to be childish and over the top because this looks fun. That's, I don't know. But yeah, X-Men 97 is a great example of like a maturing a property without going too far the other direction. You know, that just makes me think about how we never touched back on how Tag was doing in SNL. And that superhero school that shuffled graduates directly to the DoD. Like, well, yeah, I forgot about that. We completely just wiped away, or not wiped away, but stopped following up on that. I almost think that that's what that Diggle show was going to be. I think that's what that was going to be eventually. Oh, never mind. I heard it was Eric Kripke running The Boys Mexico that my fears are taken care of. Rip Kazuki Takahashi, creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Loved the show, a childhood anime. Yeah, man. The fact that he died saving somebody was crazy. Like, legend. From Hell of a Boss, I really want to learn more about Stryker and see why he is the way he is. I wonder if we're going to get a short about Stryker. We have 3 shorts before the next actual episode comes out, so I'm real curious what's going to be like. Who we're going to get shorts for. What if Planet of the Apes will ever appear in Kingdom Hearts now that Disney owns it? That's another good point. Who knows? Maybe. If the Planet of the Apes becomes a big enough franchise to get its own studio or division under Disney or Fox. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, but you never know. Have I seen Ninja Kamui? No, I have not. For Hell of a Boss, if Vivzy Pops was a big company, it would be so lovely for a Blitz and Soulless pop scene set. For sure. Like, the writers / producers have said they want to do 5 or more movies for a 9-movie saga, and ideas for a TV and movie spin-offs. Man, I still need to see this new one. I still need to see the one that came out before this one. I'm too behind on everything right now. Stan Edgar versus Lex Luthor. Who's the better mastermind? Lex Luthor. From Apology Tour, so pretty to have that episode and them on the couch to be a collection thing. If again, Funko allowed small indie shows like it to have pops. I don't know how you get approved for a pop or how that happens, how you get a pop. But yeah, I would like to see something along those lines. You excited to see Jennifer Garner back as Elektra in Deadpool? Sure. Hell yeah. Go for it. Represent. Feel sorry for this generation because they won't know the Golden Age cartoons, animes from when I was a kid, like how Samurai Jack were slightly more mature cartoons from our childhood. Samurai Jack, I mean, there was the revival here recently, but I think it's got a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Legacy that still people are aware of in some ways. Maybe not as much, but I feel like there are some for sure that are still people know to this day, but there's a lot that are lost to time for sure. Red Spandex Woman. Indeed. Do you think Daphne Keane as X-23 will appear? I hope so. That would be awesome. Okay, I stand corrected. Disney used to own 50%, ABC owned 25%, Fox owned 25%, but Fox's percentage reverted back to WB, and WB has also bought back the ABC percentage outright. I thought that's what had happened. What's good? Do you think they can kill Homelander using milk? I mean, if they could get this virus to only kill Homelander, not everybody, that'd be one way to do it. And also, what progression are you expecting for the last 2 episodes? I don't know, man. I really don't know what to expect in these next 2 episodes. I really, really don't know. We know the next season's the final season. So, I don't know what the big hiccup is going to be, other than maybe Homelander moves forward with his global coup that he's trying to stage, where the Seven basically wage war on the world. Maybe that's how the season ends. Or Newman is in the White House, and that's kind of, I don't know. I really don't know. What's my favorite Smash game? Melee. It's the one that's played the best, and they haven't been able to get that energy back. There's been some improvements to the roster, obviously, since then, but I feel like as far as game feel, none of the Smash games have felt as good since Melee. Would you ever consider watching Murder Drones? That and Amazing Digital Circus, I'm going to try to get around to eventually. I don't know when, though. I'm excited for the Funko Fusion video game. Excited? Probably not. But who knows? We'll see. I think Carol Danvers will appear. In that, probably not. I would probably bet against anybody from the universe proper from showing up. I love Jennifer Garner's Elektra movie. I've actually never seen the Elektra standalone movie. The Boys is not for me. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. I don't think there will be a Thor 5. I think there will be. There is interest in it, and we know they're going to be changing out the directors, and even Chris Hemsworth wants to do something more serious or try something different than what they've been doing. But yeah. Am I a Power Rangers fan? I point you to my helmet, my morpher, my statue, my other morpher, which you probably can't see at that angle. And then yes, I've also got the full original set of Funkos for them. Yes, I am an OG fan. I haven't watched every Power Rangers show, but I have a working knowledge of most of them. I pretty much, the entire Zordon saga I have watched, but everything after that, I've just been very hit or miss on about whether or not I've kept up with it. But as far as the OG stuff, man, I've been a Power Rangers watcher since the very first episode ever aired. So take that. And yes, favorite Ranger, Green Ranger, Tommy, and the original Mighty Morphin. That's still peak to me. I do not watch The Boys or House of the Dragon. I actually said it right that time, and I second guessed myself for similar reasons. The essay and the fan defense of it is a major turnoff for me. I think Thor will die in the next Avengers film. Maybe. You think that if Sage could cure cancer, could she make the virus strong enough? Sad she doesn't know about it. Well, yeah. I mean, she probably could make it work the way they want to, but I don't see a reason for her to betray Homelander because she thinks a lot like him, that they're superior, so I don't know. From what I understand, WB purchased ABC's 25% alongside the distribution rights of Batman 66 for $275 million. Yeah, I mean, they kind of had to, man. They included footage from it in, The Flash. Killing off Jane was so stupid. I mean, is anybody ever really dead? Redemption for Thor. Deadpool 3, about to be movie of the year. Ryan Reynolds to save the MCU. I'm definitely looking forward to that movie. Which X-Men do you hope they make a regular team member in season 2 of X-Men 97. Nightcrawler, for sure. 200 million for the 25%, 75 million for Batman 66. That's crazy, man. What's your favorite X-Men movie or top 5 if you want? I'm not going to go that far because we're about to wrap up, but favorite X-Men movie is Days of Future Past. Apocalypse has one of my favorite moments out of all of them, but overall, Days of Future Past. What's my favorite video game? Kingdom Hearts 2. Which anime series has the best Funkos, in your opinion? The base pop design and characters. That I've seen, I'd probably have to go with Inuyasha. I mean, I've got most of the Inuyasha line. A lot of the Naruto ones are okay, but they're also very standard. Same with the Dragon Ball stuff. While there's a lot of them, they're all very standard. Like, there's a lot of really creative combinations with the Inuyasha line that I absolutely love. Yu suffers the same thing. It's just the characters. There's nothing creative about it. But as far as the anime stuff goes, the most standout ones that I've seen is either Bleach or Inuyasha. I think a lot of the Inuyasha ones definitely stand out the most. But we're caught up with the chat, man. Got this one here, 75 million purchase included. Let's see, 6 man. Got you out here doing all the research now. Let's go. You know that Disney was going to make a Mega Man movie? I've never heard anything about that, but I'd check it out if they did. You think Wolverine could reach his full potential if his skeleton was made of vibranium? Because that wouldn't be poisonous either, so yeah, that'd be pretty wild if they did something like that. May your coming week be amazing, and all the news you receive be kind to make your year better. Thank you so much, Summer. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, Omni. And chat, looking forward to your weekly reactions. Thank you, Ginger. Everybody, have a fantastic week. Rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys next Saturday. Take care, everybody. Love you guys.